Hey everybody, welcome back. So today is a completely positive video about reticulated pythons. This is something that I wanted to put out just to show everybody this is the end result. This is a kind of a relationship that you can have with your animals, and this is what we all kind of work towards. So you won't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back on Intrepid Exotics. Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Now, everybody always talks about how dangerous these snakes are. This is the longest snake species in the world. You know, you got to make sure that you've got two people when you're handling it, because they can wrap you up and choke you to death, and you know, you see the bite videos that come out and all of this stuff. Fortunately, that stuff's kind of toned down a little bit because the reptile community is not quite so keen on it anymore, and it tends to get pushed away pretty quickly, which is a good thing. Now, nothing I'm gonna say here is gonna diminish the fact that you need to know how to tap train, hook train. You need to know how to read your snake's behavior. You need to know what to do in different circumstances with them. You got to keep your husbandry on point. All that stuff still stands. All I'm talking about right now is I want to show you guys what these guys can be like. There's so many people out there breeding right now. I mean, I know some breeders that are literally selling hundreds of retics. And I see so many questions coming up in the groups where people are saying, you'll have to excuse the scratching. My Nile monitor is getting up on his platform. And apparently, as usual, he wants to be involved in all the videos. But we see so many questions coming up in groups. You know, folks talking about, you know, their retics being snippy or you know, different behaviors and stuff that they're having problems with. And we all always, you know, jump to their aid, and this is my advice, this is what you should do, watch this video. Well, I think in a lot of respects it helps us if we can see the end result. You know, we've got to have a goal to work towards. We've got to have expectations of what our animals should be like. We should have expectations of how we handle them, and you know, the little steps along the way, although they're important, they all culminate when you see the finished product. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here. Just taking Monty out. She's just waking up from her nap. She had that little yawn a minute ago. And I want to kind of show you the kind of relationship that you can have with your animals, and just how safe it can be to work with your reticulated pythons, the longest snake species in the world. And you'll notice I've got the lock on the enclosure that I have clearly forgotten how to work with. There we go. Oh. And see her behavior? As soon as I pull that lock off of there, she comes over here. She's like, ah, Daddy's home. It's time to play. Okay. And what I'm going to do, since her head's over there and she knows I'm here, I'm just going to touch her a little bit. Let her know that she's getting handled. You know, she's not in a spot right there where she could misconstrue my hand as food. I've got some contact on her already, and it just gives her time to get her mind working. And that's all she needs. She knows me. She trusts me. She knows I'm not going to hurt her. And it's all about just having that mutual respect for your animal. I'm not going to go in there and just snatch her out. I want her to come out of her own, on her own volition. And see, there's a little bit of contact. And she's being a little bit lazy right now. A lot of times she'll just nose out and just start taking off. You see? There you go. You doing good, girl? And you see how she's not reacting one bit to my hands on her neck. You know, she doesn't feel the least bit threatened by me. And I'm kind of hoping she doesn't just think I'm going to sit here and pet her all night. She's still a little bit head shy. I'm going to put a little bit of contact, and she does jump a little bit when I mess with her head. So, you want to come see me? Want to come see me, girl? And one thing that you'll find that's real easy to get your snake to start moving, you know, is sometimes you can reach in, just lift them out. But like I said, I like to let them move on their own. And a lot of times, if you just go a couple feet behind their head, you know, and just start kind of massaging them a little bit, getting that contact, you know, sometimes that'll spur them to start moving away, start moving around and so forth. You know, like I said, she's gonna start waking up here in a second. There you go. Now she's loosening up. Oh, and she always likes to take off in that direction. When I first open this up and let her out. But I just weighed this girl last week, I think it was, and she's right at 50 pounds now, which is a little bit thick for her. She's pushing 14 feet, so you know, she's got just a little bit of fat on her. She has been eating pretty decent, so I'm kind of backing her off on her food a little bit. But she is a mainland, so that food is going to translate into growth pretty quickly still, as she's still kind of young. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. You're such a sweet snake. And I'll tell you, it's these quiet interactions like this that really make all the difference. Because, you know, reticulated pythons are incredibly smart. They're really smart. They can be really stubborn. You're going to notice with her a lot of the times when I let her out, you know, she's really, really mellow right now. Most of the time, she gets fixated on something and she just wants to go check it out. And you spend all of your time chasing her around. It's one thing that I really like about being able to take them outside in the summertime. They've got more room to explore. I can just kind of sit back and, you know, watch them roam around and so forth. But she's being really mellow today, which is cool. And, you know, you get to have these kinds of experiences with these animals where they just relax and they trust you. You know, a couple ways. One thing is I don't ever restrain my animals. You know, if I'm holding them, they're going to move. I'm going to change where my hands are positioned and so forth under them, but I'm never grabbing them. I don't want them to feel threatened. I don't want them to feel restrained. I want them to just be able to move. I'm going to dictate where they move to, especially if I've got other people around. But, you know, they never feel threatened, but they never feel threatened by me because of the way I handle them like that. And for all you folks out there that are thinking about getting reticulated pythons but you're really scared of them, or, you know, for folks that have just gotten new ones and you're still working through, you know, kind of learning how to keep them, get them at ease and keep them that way and so forth. I mean, this is really what the end result is with these animals. And, you know, this is a lot of the reason why, you know, myself and others put out the videos that we do, because, you know, we love these animals and we really want to see more people getting familiar with them. You know, the folks that are getting them, we really want to see everybody having good experiences just like this with their animals. And you can absolutely do that. Anybody can do it. You've just got to be humble enough at the beginning to really respect the animal and really pay attention and to really understand that your entire interaction with that animal is your responsibility. Everything that happens is your fault, and you've got to make the decision: are we going to have good interactions or are we going to have bad interactions? You know, it's just like if somebody comes up to talk with you. You know, if you're standing outside and somebody approaches you and they just gently lay their hand on your shoulder or something like that, smile at you and say, "How you doing? Let's talk," you're going to have a much better reaction than if that person jumps in there and grabs you by the shirt and says, "Come here, let's talk." You're going to react completely different in those two situations. And it's the same thing with the animals. I see too many people, you know, using the grab them by the shirt technique. You know, I'm the human, you're going to do what I tell you to. It doesn't work like that. You know, you may be able to, you know, keep them under control and so forth. You know, and these bigger snakes like this, you know, a lot of people a lot of people are fearful of them. A lot of people get really nervous handling them, and you know, there's some rationale behind that. But the truth of the matter is that even if this snake got completely off the rails right now and tried to kill me, she couldn't do it. I mean, there's always freak accidents that can happen. There's freak accidents with dogs, there's freak accidents with cats falling asleep on babies and suffocating them and things, but I mean, those are freak things. And for this snake to be able to kill me would really be a freak thing. You know, she is a powerful animal. She's got a lot of teeth. But, you know, we're still in a position where we can defend ourselves and overpower an animal like this if we have to. And the truth is, I really think these animals know that. And that's their only concern. That's why they get defensive. That's why they may try and bite sometimes. You know, they're afraid for their safety. They're, as Clint from Clint's Reptiles always used to say, you know, life is scary when you're a noodle with a head. And even when you're a big noodle with a head, that's still, you know, that's still a factor for these guys. So, a lot of times, that old phrase, you know, it's more afraid of you than you are of it, is really true. So, the way you get these relationships with your animals is you just really respect them and let them know that they are perfectly safe with you, even when you're, you know, guiding them away from something that they want to get into. And you always make sure that they feel as comfortable as they can. And you have these awesome experiences with these guys. They're just so amazing to work with. So my whole point to this today is I just really wanted to express to everybody how awesome and how much fun it can be to work with these animals and how safe it can be. Once you've got that relationship, once you've got that trust established with them, it's just completely amazing. Alright guys, so a couple quick notes. Here we go. Anyway, a couple quick notes. First of all, I do have my Amazon affiliate site set up, so I'm going to be listing all the t-shirts that I wear in the videos. You really can't see the retic shirt right now too well because there's a retic over it, but I'll have a link down in the description for that. If you want to pick one up, by all means, jump down, order it through that link. It'll help me out a great deal. And I've been working the last few days on the Intrepid website. I want to get a merch store set up. I know there's a lot of people who have been asking me about t-shirts and things like that. So I'm actually going to be in the process of setting up an LLC and doing all of that. So, and no, she's not wrapped all the way around my neck. She's just hanging on, dangling down my back. Come on, crazy. But this is a really good example too of, like I've said in previous videos, when you're holding them, they're going to hang on, and you know, if I didn't have her secured, she would have been hanging on right around my neck, and that would have been bad. So the schedule's always going to be running a little bit sideways here for a little while because I'm in the process of changing jobs right now. I'm getting set up into a better situation so that I can spend the time that I need to with the animals and with you guys, and getting a whole bunch of different revenue streams all kind of put together here so that I can start doing this full time and expand the animals that we've got here a little bit, expand what we can talk about. I've got a lot of stuff planned for this summer that we're going to end up doing at some point. So, you know, some collaborations with some really cool keepers out here. I want to do a lot of filming of just having the guys outside, run around, see what I can find for some different animals and whatnot. And get you guys a little different insight into some different ones. And of course, spending time with Niles outside running around. And he's back and forth in his enclosure like mad today. I'll show you at the end of the video if he's still running around like he is. But, so by all means, guys, if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed. Like the videos, get it out to more people. It's really important because, like I said, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are getting into snakes. And you know, there's people out there that are selling a lot of retics. And as a reptile keeper of any stripe, we should all be concerned that our fellow reptile keepers are having the most positive experiences that they can with their animals. And how we do that is by arming them with all the information that they need. Okay, yeah, she's latched onto me good now. I love snake hugs, they're the best. Guys, the whole point of today is really, we don't need to be afraid of these animals. We can have awesome relationships with them. They can be great companions. They can be a lot of fun to work with. They can be very safe to work with. And it's all just a matter of taking personal responsibility for keeping our own handling skills on point and having the utmost respect for these animals. And if you do that, they will respect you back. And you'll have all the times like these you want to have. So if you guys have got any questions, if you've got anything that you'd like to see another video about, if you want to see me do more stuff on hook training, I know I've got some videos that I've covered that stuff on before, but my earlier videos, you know, the first ones that I've done and so forth, I think we could always improve on those. So if you've got anything specifically that you'd like to see, by all means, let me know and keep an eye out for it, because I'm still going to be putting out at least one video a week and my snake's trying to leave. So I'll see you next time on Intrepid Exotics. It's just a gorgeous animal right there. Absolutely love keeping these. She is so much fun to work with. So I was going to get a big video of Niles over here jumping all over the place, but now he's tired and he's being shy and he's just going to sit there. So we will talk about him another day.